How you doing, chaps? How's it all going today? Hope you're having a nice day. The weather isn't the best. It's a bit rainy and a bit cold, starting to get cold here. Anyway, time to move on. It's part 6 of my little weathering series that I'm doing with the little Panzer 2. Now, with the Panzer 2 done, in this video I'm going to do work on the figures, and in the next one I'm going to start on the actual dial itself. So we're starting with the figures. Now we've got our figures here. Whoa, we've got our figures here, and we're ready to move on. So let's just zoom down to the bench now. I'll just move that. Oof. There we go. We're down to the bench. Nice clean bit of kitchen paper so we don't destroy anything. And for this, right, for the figures, right, we've got our figures and we have them base coated. I base coated them. Simple thing. I don't use a primer. I very rarely use a primer, and lately I don't use them at all. So I just base coated them in neutral grey XF53. Right, we've got our 4 figures that we're using in this dial. We've got the 3 chaps standing, and we've got the little tank commander. Okay, now as I said, we're going to concentrate on one chap, but we'll show you each one as well while I'm doing it, because I'll be doing them all together. So we're going to concentrate on one guy, and we'll concentrate on this chap here, which is our commander figure. Right, there we go, nice view of him. Okay, we're going to concentrate on this chap, which is our commander figure for the M3 Lee that we're using in the dial. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I've given him the grey. Next I'll give him a coating on his uniform areas of XF62 olive drab. Okay, so I'll give him an all over coating of the olive drab. Try to avoid the face. Then on the face and the hands I use this, which is Citadel layer paint. I hand paint this one. Kislev Flesh. I think it's Kislev or Kislev. Yep, Kislev Flesh. Citadel and their mad names, you know yourself. They're mental. Anyway, and for the boots and for his belt and other little bits of webbing and things, I will use XF10 flat brown. I'll use XF2 on the binoculars, and I will use this colour, the XF60 dark yellow, on the commander figure, this chap here, for the other one, because the American tankers, they kind of they had, say, green olive drab overalls, and sometimes they wore a kind of a dark yellow coat, just jacket, and that was sort of some of them wore it, some of them didn't, but they wore it over that. So this chap is in his overalls, so we'll give him this the bare olive drab, and we'll give this chap the dark yellow. Like I said, the same thing with the binoculars will be black, and the flesh will be fleshy coloured. And we just do the base colours. And when I do the base colours, when I've finished them, we'll come back and I'll show you how I kind of weather them. I don't paint eyes. I do not paint eyes, but I'll show you what I do to make the eyes stand out. Okay? So, bear with me now for a few minutes, and we'll get these guys olive drabbed up and dark yellowed up, and get the flesh done, and all the other little detail painting that's to be done in these chaps. We'll get that done, and then I'll come back to you. Okay? So, bear with me while I get all this little bits and pieces done. Right, chaps, now we're back, and we are on to the next phase of the weathering thing. So we've got our figures, and if you can see, I think I have to shout at this thing. Zoom in! There we go. As you can see, we have the figures base coated. As in, well, they're not base coated, they were base coated. Now they're all coloured in, shall we say. They're coloured in, they just have to be weathered off and get the next phase onto them. I'll show you these two, because I've some next two done, shall we say. So there you go, and you see they've got all their detail painting on it. The webbing is done, The uniforms are done, the weapons are done, their faces, and the uniforms and the gaiters and all that, okay? They're all done. So, what do we do now? Well, what do I do now? This is why I do it. Most other people, they paint in the eyes and this, that and the other. I do not do that, okay? And this is how I do it. It's just a quick, simple technique. I use a product. Yes, I use a product. I use this. Citadel Agrax Earthshade, okay? That'll zoom in now in a second and you'll be able to read it. Won't it? Right? Agrax Earthshade. Zoom in, you bastard. Anyway, Citadel Agrax Earthshade. Okay, give it a little shake. Only a tiny little one. You don't need to, there's no sort of sediment or anything in these. Alright? So, this is what I do. It's a pure bluffers thing, being quite honest with you lads, right? Get a paintbrush. Nice clean one, make sure it's clean. And I just coat the figures in this. Alright, now I stay away from the faces until the very, very last bit. Okay. And give them not too much, but not too little either. So I give them a nice liberal coating of this Agrax. And what this stuff is basically a wash. And it's a nice brown wash. But it's kind of a sticky wash, if you know what I mean. I don't know what the actual makeup of it is. Obviously, it's kind of a dipping wash. Some people call it a dipping wash. And it's used for Games Workshop figures and, you know, gamers for their war games and, you know, their figures that they use in that. And it's works for me because I'm not that, shall we say, that neat when it comes to figure painting. Yes, I can do the inlay colours and this, that and the other. When it comes to the shading, this is what I use. And it works. It works for me. And it's like this, the old saying, if it's not broken, don't fix it. You know? And if you find something that works for you and gives you the effect that you're looking for, and you're happy with that, then stop at that. Because I've tried painting, you know, in the shades and this, that and the other, and it never comes out right for me. Okay, it really never does. Right, so now we're onto the face. Here's the body, all nicely coated in this stuff. So now we're onto the face. So we give it another little dip, and we just brush it across and up. Alright, and what that does is that'll fill into all the little crevices in the face. Alright, and you play around with the brush, you blend it in, you know, make sure it gets into all the little areas, and try and get it all done in one coat, because this stuff, the more coats you give it, the darker your figure is going to be. So you want to get it into all the creases on the face. Okay, see it? There we go. You see, it's gone into sort of the mouth, the cheeks, into the eye sockets, and all that. And just leave that to dry. Okay. And we'll do our second guy. And like you see here with the back, we just take, say, the simple little thing like the ammo pouches. We'll just do the ammo pouches just so you can see what I'm talking about. It fills in around the little gaps, all the little crevices in that, and it makes them pop or explode or boing or whatever word you want to use for that. Makes them stand out. It gives it that nice effect of making the detail look good. And this stuff then also gets in around the creases on the trousers and on the jackets and all that kind of stuff, and fills in, and it dries pretty fast. Give it about 10 minutes or so and it dries in. Now finish with this guy. Cross the fingers. And any place where you want it to actually fill into, just go across the detail and up, so it just doesn't flow down, but it kind of flows into. Sometimes when you sort of just flows down, you tend to miss some of the details in it, right? Yeah. There's the whole body done, his helmet done, and all that. And then, like I said, the last bit I do is I go across and up on the face. People ask me, you know, what do I do for figures? This is exactly, and this is all I do for figures. Okay, and it does the job nice and handy. Okay, so you leave them set aside then to dry. Now, like I said, there's 4 figures in this dia that I'm doing, and I have the other 2 already done, as in I did them a little while ago, so it will be dry. Now if I got maybe a white background, it might show it up. I'll try this, a build. Now, give it a bit more under the light a bit. The camera isn't playing ball again, as bloody well usual. Sometimes if I turn off the light and let the light adjusts itself better. There we go. Now, as you see, he's dry, and all the little details are nicely filled in. And all I do then with them is I give them a dry brush. And what I do with a dry brush is, like here I used olive drab, dark yellow on the gaiters, brown on the boots, and the Keslev flesh on the face. And what I do is I give a light dry brush over those areas of the bare colour. And because the Agrax Earthshade darkens them, by giving it a dry brush, what it'll do is it'll pick up all the highlights on it, all the high spots, and that'll give it a bit of a highlight. So you got your light, your dark, and your darker, because your darker has gone into the crevices. The dark would be, say, the overall darkness of it, and the light shades then from the dry brushing. And that's the figures, simple as that. Okay, and that is all you've got to do. That's all I do to the figures. Okay, and I end up then, and I'm happy with the figures and the way they turned out. Okay, there's that chap. Like I said, he's dry, so I can put him down. And then we got our little commander figure for the little Panzer too. Okay, just give that a second. Oh, come on. There we go. You see? It gives a nice tone to the flesh. And it fills in all the crevices and things on the helmet and on his uniform and stuff. And they're all fitted nicely, and it just works. Simple as that, it just works. And like I said before, if it's not broken, don't fix it. So that's the figures, and that's how I do the figures. Our next video now, we'll go on and we'll do the, we'll start on the dio. We'll start preparing the dio base, what I do to prepare the dio base, and start building it up. And then we just place our bits and pieces on the dio base itself then. So I'll catch you up in the next video where we're doing the finishing off. It'll probably be the last video of this series, and where we'll have everything placed on the dio. We'll be building the dio and placing everything around it. Okay, so I'll catch you up in the last video, lads. Stay safe in the meantime. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed. And don't forget to give it a like. Give it the old thumbs up if you like the effect on that. you have any questions you'd like to ask me, anything that you didn't, quite get from what I was trying to get across in the video, because sometimes I have a habit of over explaining some parts and not fully explaining others. So any questions, stick them in the comments box below and I'll get back to you on that. Okay lads, catch you up in the next one, and don't forget, go out and buy yourself a kit, build it, enjoy it. It's a hobby there to be enjoyed. That's what hobbies are for. And I'll catch you in the next one. Stay safe, and until the next time, look after yourselves.